What if I told you that the coin I am holding right now could change your life? This is not just an ordinary penny that you see every day. Most people ignore it and spend it without thinking, but a few people know its real value and make thousands of dollars from it. This is a wheat penny, a small coin with a powerful history and hidden details that can turn 1 cent into a fortune. There are rare dates, mint marks, and tiny errors that most people never notice, and that is exactly why these coins become so valuable. Now think about how many pennies you have seen or used in your life, and how many could still be sitting in your pocket, your drawer, or your loose change today. I am going to show you exactly what to look for: the rare wheat pennies, the valuable errors, and the hidden details that could make you serious money. So before you spend another penny, make sure you watch this video till the end, because the next coin you check might be the one that changes everything. The year was 1940, and the world was already changing in ways most people could not fully understand. The United States was still recovering from the Great Depression, while across the ocean war had already begun, and uncertainty was everywhere. In the middle of all this, a small, simple coin quietly entered circulation, a coin that no one at the time believed would ever become important or valuable. That coin was the 1940 wheat penny, a 1-cent piece, made for every day, used, passed from hand to hand, used for bread, newspapers, and basic needs. Never meant to be saved, never meant to be special. But history has a strange way of turning ordinary things into extraordinary treasures, and this coin is a perfect example of that reality. Because while millions of these pennies were produced in 1940, only a very small number survived in high condition, and an even smaller number were struck with rare errors and unique characteristics that collectors today are willing to pay serious money for. The 1940 wheat penny was minted in 3 different locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Philadelphia coins do not carry a mint mark, while Denver coins show a small D, and San Francisco coins carry an S. These tiny letters may look insignificant, but they are one of the most important details that can completely change the value of the coin. A simple difference in mint mark can turn a 1-cent coin into something worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on its condition and rarity. Philadelphia produced the highest number of coins in 1940, with over 586 million pennies struck, making it the most common version. However, even within such a large number, finding a coin in uncirculated condition is far more difficult than most people think, because these coins were heavily used during a time when money was tight and every coin mattered. People did not collect them, they used them, and because of that, most surviving examples today show heavy wear, scratches, and damage. Denver produced far fewer coins, with around 81 million pieces, and San Francisco produced even less, with about 112 million coins. These lower mintages make the 1940 D and 1940 as slightly more desirable, especially when found in better condition. But the real story does not just come from how many were made. It comes from how they were made and what went wrong during the minting process. During the production of these coins, massive machines were used to strike blank pieces of copper into finished pennies. Each coin was created under high pressure and speed, and while the system was designed for consistency, it was not perfect. Small mistakes could happen, and those mistakes created what collectors today call errors. These errors are one of the biggest reasons why a simple 1940 wheat penny can suddenly become extremely valuable. One of the most fascinating errors found on some 1940 wheat pennies is the double die error. This happens when the design is stamped onto the coin more than once, but slightly misaligned, creating a doubling effect on the letters or numbers. This can sometimes be seen in the word liberty or in the date itself, and when it is strong and clear, it can increase the value of the coin dramatically. Collectors actively search for these double die varieties because they are rare and visually striking. Another important error is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin blank is not properly aligned with the dies during the striking process, resulting in a coin where part of the design is missing and shifted to one side. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin can become, especially if the date is still visible, because the date confirms the identity of the coin and makes it more desirable to collectors. There are also coins known as broad strikes, which happen when the retaining collar fails and the coin spreads out wider than normal during striking. These coins look slightly larger and flatter than regular pennies, and their unusual shape immediately catches the attention of collectors. Then there are repunched mint marks, often called RPM errors, where the mint mark was punched into the die more than once in slightly different positions. This creates a shadow-like effect around the letter D or S. And while it may be difficult to notice at first glance, experienced collectors know exactly where to look and how to identify these valuable varieties. But errors are only part of the story. Condition plays an even bigger role in determining value. A. 1940. Wheat penny that has been heavily worn may only be worth a few cents above face value, but the same coin in mint state condition, meaning it has never been circulated, can be worth significantly more. Coins are graded on a scale from poor condition to perfect mint state, and even a small difference in grade can lead to a huge difference in price. For example, a 1940 penny in average circulated condition might only be worth a few cents to a collector, but if that same coin is found in mint state, with sharp details and original luster, it could be worth tens or even hundreds of dollars. And if it also has a rare error or variety, its value can go even higher. There have been auction records where high-grade 1940 wheat pennies, especially from the San Francisco Mint, have sold for impressive amounts, proving that even a common coin can become valuable. When preserved in exceptional condition, these coins were never meant to last this long in such pristine form, which is exactly why they are so desirable today. The design of the coin itself also tells a story. On the front, you see the profile of Abraham Lincoln, a symbol of strength, leadership, and unity, a design that was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of his birth. On the back, you see two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, representing agriculture growth and the foundation of the American economy at that time. This design remained in use until 1958, and during those years, billions of pennies were produced, yet each year has its own unique characteristics and collectible value. The 1940 wheat penny sits right at the edge of a major historical moment just before the United States would fully enter World War II and begin a period of intense industrial production, including changes to coin materials in later years. That is another reason why collectors are drawn to coins from this era, because they represent a snapshot of history, a physical connection to a time when the world was uncertain and every small object, including a penny, had a role to play in daily life. Now imagine finding one of these coins today in your own collection or in your pocket change. It may look old and worn, but with the right date, mint mark, and condition, it could be worth far more than you expect. This is why experienced collectors always check every coin, carefully looking for small details that others might miss, because those small details can make a big difference. Some collectors use magnifying glasses or digital microscopes to inspect their coins, closely searching for doubling mint, mark variations, or surface anomalies that indicate an error. Others rely on experience and knowledge developed over years of studying coins and understanding how they were made. The truth is, most valuable coins are not discovered by accident. They are found by people who know what to look for and are willing to take the time to examine each coin carefully. And that is exactly what makes coin collecting both exciting and rewarding, because every coin has the potential to be something special. Even today, rolls of pennies from Banks' estate, sales, and old collections are constantly being searched by collectors hoping to find hidden treasures among ordinary coins. And while most of the coins they find may be common, it only takes one rare piece to make the entire search worthwhile. The 1940 wheat penny is a perfect example of this idea, because it is common enough to be found but rare enough in certain forms to be valuable. It sits right in that sweet spot where opportunity exists for anyone who is willing to learn and look closely. So the next time you come across a penny, do not ignore it. Do not assume it has no value, because hidden within that small piece of copper could be a story, a mistake, or a rarity that turns it into something far more valuable than 1 cent. And if that penny happens to be from 1940 with the right characteristics, you might be holding a piece of history that collectors around the world are still searching for today. And that is how a simple coin from 1940, once used for everyday transactions, becomes a valuable collectible nearly a century later, proving that sometimes the smallest things can carry the greatest hidden value, waiting to be discovered by the right person at the right time.